So this is good news. Marvel Studios is keeping Kang and Doctor Doom, and also Doctor Doom is going to be a co-villain to Kang the Conqueror in Secret Wars. So the idea is most likely like what you and I have talked about comic cuts 1,000 times, right? Kang Dynasty being about Kang, but then Doom kind of taking the reins in Secret Wars. And we're gonna talk about this when we talk about Doctor Strange 3, but I'll break it down here. Doctor Strange 3 is supposed to be happening before Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. And I honestly think that Doctor Strange 3 is the perfect movie to introduce Doctor Doom, because the rumors for the Fantastic Four is that Doctor Doom isn't actually going to be the Fantastic Four. He's only going to have a cameo, and that we're really going to see him more as a sorcerer in Doctor Strange. And I honestly think that is a great way to introduce him as a character, because Doctor Doom, and a lot of people hate this, Doctor Doom transcends the Fantastic Four. Am I wrong in saying that or no?
No. And like I said, I think they have to be very smart with the Fantastic Four because they haven't had success with that.
Yep.
And I think part of that is Doom taking a backseat for the movie.
Yep. Now, in regards to Kang the Conqueror, okay, now I told you earlier I wanted to talk about this because a lot of people are saying stuff that they don't understand, okay? Let me tell you how business works. Comic Cuts, you obviously understand because we both work in the corporate world. When it comes to contracts, the idea that they can't recast because of Jonathan Majors' contract is not true. Contracts have a thing called a morality clause, okay? And if Jonathan Majors is guilty, they can destroy that contract. And let me tell you, they will recast Kang the Conqueror. Like, there's no way around that. They put too much into this character to start over. And I was on the road of starting over with Doctor Doom, but thinking about it, they've already put all their eggs into this Kang basket. They can't ruin it now. The best next thing is to just make a villain. Make Doctor Doom as equally as important as Kang the Conqueror, because Jonathan Majors on his own, obviously he could have held it down on his own. But if it's not Jonathan Majors, you do need another guy that can hold it down. And I think if Cillian Murphy is Doctor Doom, making him the co-main villain with Kang the Conqueror would be something very legendary. Hell, imagine if we got Jonathan Majors and Cillian Murphy as the main villains. Oh my God!
By the way, and this is a spoiler alert because the prediction I'm about to make is 100% going to happen. Doctor Doom's going to be the one to kill Kang off.
For
Guaranteed.
sure. In the end. Guaranteed. Oh yeah, he always kills Kang. So yep. I can't wait to see that. So yeah, so yeah, man, like I think that like if Cillian Murphy does get cast, and no, the Doctor Doom has not been cast yet, Cillian Murphy is the top priority right now for who they want to sign.
So the other thing, like talking about Cillian Murphy as Doom, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Like, the MCU is so different than when it first started. Like, the actors that they are casting in these movies are A-listers. They're not becoming – a lot of these actors aren't becoming A-listers in these roles, even though Cillian Murphy is kind of teetering on that point. Right? I touched on that earlier. But, like, you know, John Krasinski as Reed Richards, like, that was already an A-lister. So, you know, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, the morality clause is a very popular clause in modern day contracts. There are levels to them, you know, like, so I don't know obviously we haven't seen Jonathan Major's contract. I don't know what the details are. But you could bet your ass if he is guilty that Marvel has an out in the morality clause. But like, I also think that, you know, these allegations, like those are pretty bad. And, you know, these brands have to have a way to protect these images.
Here's the problem with recasting Kang. Normally, I'm okay with recast, but in this situation, the story established that every Kang from every universe looks the same. Majors, how do you explain a recast? You don't explain it. You just do it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. You don't explain it.
Yeah.